You already
What
did.
By pooping.
Perfect.
I'll get you back for this.
So, who wants to start us off with the recap?
I guess it's my turn.
Yep.
I don't remember.
God, I am gonna throw my shoe at you, and I'm not even wearing shoes. It's just gonna be my foot.
Okay, so really rough recap from me. Basically, everyone's going through social rounds. Master and Steven was very, very nervous and kind of failed sometimes, but Master was able to flex her toe beans and act very, very cute, cat-like, and get Steven out of things. Steven made a huge distraction. Yeah, that was the last one, right? Steven made a huge distraction where he caused a suit of armor to fall over. And everyone was distracted, so he was able to slip one of the items into his cloak.
The journal.
Yes. And Thoticus was able to grab like 2 or 3 items, I think. He grabbed the fan and the crossbow dagger? Question mark.
Mm-hmm.
It was the crossbow, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Thoticus was able to grab the items without being captured by the temple guard. But can he successfully assemble the Shrine of the Silver Monkey?
Oh gosh.
Probably not.
And he ran into a Karen, who was actually dealt with by the guy that Master was riding around on, like, the shoulders of the entire time.
In the arms of another man!
The arms of the angels.
Sid was running errands, giving messages back and forth, and was speaking with Lady Gloriana, who, Darmeath was actually being smitten with. Like, they were kind of going back and forth for a little bit, until the other guy, I can't remember his name, came over and basically killed the mood. And that's kind of where we left off.
That is kind of where we left off. So, so the person that you were referring to is the one who is a little bit of a buzzkill is Baronet Ducato.
Yes.
Or I'm sorry, not Ducato. Ciciato. I'm absolutely butchering that name, but I didn't make these up. So here we are now at the top of the turn. It is, by the way, the last social round that you'll get before the next main event. So be sure to choose wisely your actions from here on. Now, darling, you're the first one up because Steven is the first one in the turn order right now.
Yes. And I had instructed Steve last session to go steal that dagger, because I also wanted that.
Okay. So what will you have your human familiar do?
Well, he first has to find the dagger. Has he found the dagger?
Let's see. Also, really quick, there is an elephant in the room that I need to address, and I apologize about that. Our resident Darmeath is not going to be able to join us. She is unfortunately sick. I'm sorry, she's not sick. She's unavailable. My wife is sick, but Darmeath is unavailable, so Fox will be in the stream listening to us. But we will get to her next week, and we'll see just what happens. When her turn comes up, I'll explain what's going on. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and do a perception check for Steve.
Ooh.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
He's so dumb!
Yeah, that's gonna be a nope. And hang on, I just realized there's something missing from my desk here. I will be right back. DM should never have a dice. Not have a dice. Hang on.
For shame.
So of course,
For shame, Marine.
fortunately, you guys should be able to hear me on her mic.
I don't know if they can.
Unfortunately,
can.
our resident sorcerer, Steve, cannot actually see the knife. He's not able to see the dagger. But our resident sorcerer is still within a crowded area. Since he's not able to see his prize, is there anything else you'd like to do?
He really can't see it. Jesus.
It's more that there's a lot of people. I mean, you can't see it here because obviously, got a theater of the mind a little bit.
The light of the light from all the chandeliers is reflecting off the glass so much it's in his eye. He can't see.
A new distraction! A new distraction! Prestidigitation!
Okay, so what exactly are you going to have him do with this prestidigitation? I may sound drunk. I'm just sleepy. Okay.
I'm drunk.
I want it to create the sound of a lady, a wealthy noble lady, screaming about a thief and trying to get people to go chase it. And see if that gets people's attention.
Okay. So
real quick, there are 2 songs playing at the same time right now.
Jesus, really? I can't hear but one. Hang on. Is there still a song playing? Because there shouldn't be.
Yes, there is. It's the jazzy. Maybe
That's
it's
bizarre.
just on my end. Let me try refreshing my page.
Yeah, you may have to, unfortunately. So we're having a couple of technical issues right now, and that's fine. That happens. I know I had that issue earlier.
Okay, yeah, I don't hear anything.
Okay, so let me go.
Bizarre.
Okay, so let me go ahead and roll to see. So yeah, you hear a couple of people, shrieking in the distance. You hear one lady. You just hear the sound of someone screaming "thief" somewhere.
Oh
it,
no!
It actually it works to your advantage. It works to Steve's advantage because as Corpornia comes around, she notices that there's items missing, and she immediately starts making a panic out of it. Now go ahead and roll a stealth for him.
Okay, let's see how bad this goes. Let's see. Sleight of hand or stealth?
Stealth.
Yeah. Not bad.
So he has a little bit of trouble slipping through because people are kind of weaving in and around each other, but Steve's actually able to get a little farther closer to the knife, to its location. But one man stops him and says, "As I say, my good man, haven't you heard there's a thief about? Someone should do something about this. You look like the sort of type to be dealing with this.
Oh no!
How so, exactly? Well, you're in robes, and that usually means that you're some kind of lower class peasant, right? I'm sorry. Did you confuse magic users, power users, with some sort of peasant? Why, yes.
He agrees that he confused the two.
Were you born this way, or did you pay someone to beat you to be this stupid? I say, I've never. Go ahead and roll an Go ahead and roll a Go ahead and roll like a diplomacy on that one, actually.
Okay. Oh no. Oh no.
Jeez.
Nope, he's just like, oh, no. See, I know who I pay. You are gonna go investigate this for me right away. I can't refute you. I suppose, if I may be so bold, though, will there be any currency for me? I should certainly hope so. Peasants always wondering if they'll get paid. I came to the same gala as you. Yes, and you look so poor.
He's wearing nice robes too.
It is a good thing that I don't have a dagger. Oh, why is that? I would stab the culprit, yes, and nothing else. Please, let's go this way. So he's gonna go towards the area. I say, ma'am, what seems to be the problem? Someone's stolen the items. What items? Exactly. The spyglass, the fan, they're gone, and the journal. This is madness. We have to shut this area down at once. Now, I don't think that will be necessary. I really think that we don't have to do something so drastic right now. After all, I mean, maybe someone picked them up to dust them off and then didn't
Maybe they
return
were
them.
cursed because there was a ghost.
Another ghost.
Listen, stranger. Everyone here knows that ghosts aren't real. Go ahead and roll a diplomacy check. Let me let Tessie in.
Bark, 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 bark.
No, she just did a whine. Diplomacy is totally his best stat, so I mean.
Oh,
Totally.
God.
Everyone is like, yes, you know what? He's right. Ghosts do not exist. That must mean that the culprit is in fact a man, as we all know that women don't steal anything.
In this day
Except
and
the
age?
show.
Ha ha!
They're too busy not having orgasms and giving birth.
I say.
So one of the men kind of examines the areas and is like, how do we know it wasn't one of the servants here? You know what? That's a very good idea. They do look fishy.
Broots.
I say we investigate the wait staff. What do you guys don't you agree? Capornia looks at him kind of pointedly. Go ahead and I'm gonna make a sense motive with her. Go ahead and roll a bluff with him.
Oh boy. Oh.
Hey.
She looks at him and says, "You know what? I think he's right. I'll be back. I'm going to have a word with them." So she's gonna go ahead and leave towards that way.
I love
Meanwhile,
when things come together.
Steve has one more minute to try and get this thing.
So, is that like next time or is it like this time?
Like you still have a little bit of time because all that happened within like about because each round is about 15 minutes, but that didn't take as long. So you still have a couple more minutes. So if you want, you can try again to get the dagger, or you can wait.
May as well try.
Okay.
P.
Go ahead and roll another stealth check.
Another one of his best, absolutely best. Holy crap!
Hey.
Okay, he blends into the crowd and no one pays attention to him after that. He's got his hood down and everything. So he's able to get to the area with no problems.
Fair enough.
So now you have the chance. You have to make a sleight of hand check to try and see if he well, first off, make the perception check to see if you can see it. And then you can make if you can
Oh, now I'm getting some good rolls.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, how did I miss that the first time? Jesus, it weren't for all these fucking people. Also, who's Jesus?
Senor,
It's
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 pronounced Jesus.
Jesus.
It's just this phrase that people use for some reason. No one knows why.
It came from the Dreamlands.
Exactly.
So
So-
what
Sleight of hand check now.
Yeah.
is the place empty? Like, are there still people where the knife is?
There are a few people, most of them looking at the galleries. You see a couple of younger looking people.
Oh no!
No.
I like how you rolled that as I was talking. But yeah, you do see a couple of younger couples off behind some of the gallery making out.
Oh. Oh my.
Oh my.
But as soon as you go to reach for the knife, a familiar face steps in. Now, son, whatever do you think you're doing? I was merely admiring this fine piece of wool that just so happens to be next to this fine-looking dagger. Listen, if you're trying to do what I think you're trying to do, you have to be much better than that, my son. Well, whatever do you mean? I don't know what you mean. He casually slips the dagger into his own pocket before handing it back over to Stephen.
Clever boy.
Snap.
It pays to know how to do these sorts of things. What exactly are you? Well, I'm a tiefling. What else would I be? That's not what I meant, and you know it.
He's a pervert.
So are you just, a thief of some kind? Oh, please. I am a businessman. Of course I'm a thief. I steal from all the corporations. I'm kind of like that one guy who steals from the rich and gives to the poor, except that poor person is me. Except I ain't so poor from all that stealing, you see. I feel like you're fucking with me. You're kind of right. Well played. And so we turn now over to Thoticus,
Oh boy.
who is
Whose tabs are fucking up.
whose hands are fucking up.
Ah, jeez.
His coat, the tabs of his collars are like just flipping all over the place like cartoons do.
What cartoons are you watching?
Oh, just like those Bug Bunny cartoons where his the thing flaps in front of their face.
Cumberbund.
The
Oh
cummerbund.
yeah.
There we go.
Oh okay. So has news of the thief reached the gardens?
Go ahead and roll a perception check for him. I'm gonna roll for everyone else. That guy fucking does not roll a 1. Oh, you don't hear anything. Let's see. So, one person hears it, and of course,
It's
kind
Karen.
of excuses himself and says, I must attend to see what the problem is. I apologize. I'll go see to this. I say, what seems to be the issue? There's a thief somewhere around. Someone's stolen items from the gallery. That's terrible. We must do something about that. Yes, we must, but who could be the culprit? Did you check the waitstaff? It's usually the waitstaff. I mean, you can't trust the poor. Why does everyone agree with that? Is it untrue? No? I don't know. Well, let's go check on that. So he's gonna go ahead and walk her more towards the waitstaff.
Okay, then I didn't need to do that. roll?
Because you rolled a 1, so you didn't hear any of it. You were just too busy
So I
living
didn't hear
the
any
high
of
life.
that conversation.
You heard the conversation because it was loud enough and close enough, but you didn't hear the screaming of thief.
Okay. So Thoticus
It's a good thing Thoticus was away from that.
Thoticus is a little bit nervous now. He did steal many items today. He knows because he is a Nufkin and has not been living under a rock his whole life that sooner or later somebody's going to point to him and they will be correct that he was the culprit. And even if they weren't correct, it would still not be a good night for him. So Thoticus is gonna do you want me to roll escape artist for this one? I guess not really.
Well, I mean, what are you trying to do?
He's gonna continue because there is safety in numbers and he's starting to panic. That means he's not going to think very well. He is going to try and reach Sid and Mort on the other side of from where he began at the beginning of this social round.
So yeah, it's gonna be escape artist to try and do that. And I can't remember if you are currently. I didn't get a chance to review the last one.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's actually very good. It's actually just enough for you to excuse yourself and be like, so how do you want to excuse yourself, actually?
God, I don't know. I guess you do it just kind of casually. I feel like you just be like, it's over here. It's a party. People are moving around. It's not a big deal.
Throws up finger guns. Ladies, lost wife.
Well, I mean, the person he was already talking to left, so he doesn't have to excuse himself.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you want to make your way towards Mort and Sid over here?
Yep.
Okay, so that's going to be the rest of your time this round. At this point, you get right up there, and so they'll be able to interact with you and vice versa in a minute. But basically, you see all these tall people, all these tallies are just getting in your way. Roll a quick reflex save.
Okay, where is that?
That's gonna be crap. It's gonna be next to Will.
There you go. That's good.
There you go. Okay, so he dances and weaves his way, kind of, casually, not
like
bumping
a fun
into anyone.
Cartoon manner, perhaps.
Yeah, just very cartoonish, very like, hey, avoiding all kinds of people, like nearly getting stepped on, but just almost magically avoiding it the last second. You see two fat people bump into each other, and you just, like, in the nick of time, move past as they bump into each other. And then you're finally, right there with where Sid and Mort will be.
Oh, right. Should
Right.
they roll perception checks to see if they know what's up right now?
At the moment, they'll get to on their turn.
Okay. All right. So my turn's over. That's it.
Well, was there anything else you wanted to do? Because it takes you some time to get here to begin with, and then the navigation.
Probably not. I mean, I don't think Thoticus wants to draw any attention to himself, so he's gonna hold back a little bit on bringing up the whole. We gotta go. Someone's gonna get suspicious. Soon.
Okay.
Or at any point in the future, probably.
Okay. So you're trying your best, Thoticus, to basically stay incognito. So go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Oh boy. So, gotta find that on my page again. There we go.
Oh!
Nat 20. Okay, so you
Thoticus has
are like
become
a
invisible.
shadow.
Wait, but then how are we supposed to notice him?
Well, it's more that he doesn't want to be noticed by anyone except the group. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got Gotcha.
So you go through the crowd without anyone even knowing that there's a rat folk, that there's a Nuffkin, a dirty, filthy Nuffkin in their beautiful, spotless gala.
We can't even smell him.
Yeah, like they're smelling their own farts before they smell you at this point.
Well, Bodicus is currently covered with the stench of weird Russian pro-cannibal lady, whose
So-
name we never got.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go to the master.
So I'm still in Muscle Man's arms, obviously.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Have I heard anything new?
Go ahead and roll perception for that.
I hear a bork.
You
Ooh.
you can't really hear anything outside of the people yelling and screaming about the thief that was in the gallery. So you're really only able to hear a couple snippets of words as Maxilar just upsettingly just says, "For fuck's sake, must I do everything?" as he moves towards the gallery.
I want to see what he does, because he still has me in his arms.
So he's gonna go ahead and he's gonna check with one of the guards. "You there? What is going on?" Sorry, sir. I have no idea. Some lady started screaming about thief, and the next thing you know, everyone's kind of panicking." "Well, is there anything missing?" "Oh, yes." "And what are you doing about this?" Well, nothing yet. We just found out about it. Yeah. "Oh, you did you?" He puts his hand on the boy's shoulder. "Oh, I'm so glad we have the best and brightest on this case." He squeezes and he visibly flinches in pain. "I'm so glad you're on the case. Because if you don't find that thief, they won't find you." He walks away.
I cause that man to die.
Okay, so you still have time because he's obviously visibly, he's almost visibly steaming because this happened under his watch, and his whole thing was he's protecting this place. So you can hear him grumbling about how stupid these people are, how he hates these fancy galas anyway. He's just not having a good time of things.
How roughly is he petting me right now?
Yeah, that's pretty rough, actually. He's kind of I'm not saying he's like, twisting you or anything, but he's not being nice about how he's petting.
He's stress petting.
He is stress petting hard.
The difference is that he's stronger than Steve when Steve stress pets.
Yeah, actually, I almost think you should take
Roll
a
for
constitution
damage.
check.
Roll a constitution check.
Should I roll a constitution check?
Please.
Go for it.
Okay. Well, that
Remember what happened last time we rolled Constitution for a funny joke?
would that be fortitude or?
Yeah, that would be a fort save.
Oh
Oh!
Because he's squeezing you, he's kind of like squeezing your stomach. You are going to take 1 point of damage, thankfully, and you feel as though you may throw up. In fact, you do hop. You hop a big. He immediately picks you up and says, "My word, someone has made you sick. They will pay for it." and right now he's just going to like he takes one of the passing waiters he takes one of their handkerchiefs and just cleans himself off, and then he starts dabbing your mouth. I will take that.
Aww. That's cute.
Were it not that you served a different god than me. That is to say, if you had not worshipped something else aside from me, I would have you as my servant.
Oh, it looks so happy. Don't you feel better now? Yes. Now then, let us find a thief.
I honestly hope that he shares me with the king.
And that is the master's turn. So now we return to Sid.
Okay. So I think I have some more messages that I have to deliver. Let's see. Oops, crud. I have to pull up my thing.
Actually have to restart my have to refresh my page right now too. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, like my Roll20 always craps out a little bit.
Oh no.
It's okay. I don't have as many tabs open, thankfully, but still.
Okay, so I have to take a message to both Martella Lothley and Duke Centimus.
Mm-hmm.
Can I roll like knowledge or something to know like which one is more important? Question mark.
Well, you know that Lady Lothlead you can get a hold of using your badge at any time. But you also know that based off of the mission that you were given, that it'd probably be best to get to Duke Centimus first.
Okay. So the Duke is in the archives, so I need to head there. The archives is back up top, right?
Yes.
Okay, then I am going to... Oh yeah, I'm not that far away, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna head there right now. Oh wait. I need to roll perception to see if I detect Thoticus, right?
Yes. Go ahead and do that.
Okay. I don't see him anywhere.
No, you don't. You don't. There's too many people to see any kind of small person like that.
Okay.
Although the Marquis Tanasha also is there, you know, kindly waving her hand.
I wave back and I make my way up to the archives.
Okay.
And I think it's this dude, right?
No.
Just kidding. Alright, there you go.
So he looks at you. Actually, I think last time you already sent him the message.
I did not. I talked to the other guy and he gave me a message.
Okay.
This guy right here.
Okay. Okay. And you had already delivered the other message to Gloriana.
Yes, and she's the one that gave me two messages, one for Martella Lothley and one for Duke Centimus, which
Okay.
I marked which sleeves I put them in.
Perfect.
So I approach Duke Centimus and I give a deep bow and I say, "Good evening, good sir. I have a message for you from Lady Gloriana."
Is that so?
I pull out the message from my left sleeve and hand it to him.
He opens it gingerly, looking at you, kind of pointedly looking at you suspiciously, before reading the letter. I see. Wonderful news, I suppose. Thank you.
My pleasure. Is there anything else you would require of me? Or anything you would have me do?
No, this was all. I thank you for the message. I don't have He kind of looks at his useless legs as he sits in his wheelchair.
Just
I
got
don't
paid
have
recently.
pockets, so I'll
Time to
just-
spend irresponsibly and pretend bills don't
Done
exist.
good work, and I will tell your master so. And they can do with that information as they see fit.
Very well. I bow and I walk away to. Is this room empty? This area over here. That like top area.
Also, let's give a quick shout out. Thank you to our good buddy Notshade for giving us a tip.
Ooh.
And just a tip. I know, I'm just kidding.
No.
So what was your question? I'm sorry.
Oh no, is this area over here? Is it completely empty? Like I can go over there and be private?
Yes, it is. Think of it, the archives are kind of like a library of all the things and history of this place.
Okay, then I'm going to kind of like snake my way over there, pull out the little, like the badge, and kind of like tap it a little bit, like not sure what to do, like bite it once, and then be like, Lady Lothley, I have a message for you. I'm in the archives.
So go ahead and roll use magic device.
Oh god. Wait, where is that at?
It's gonna be one of the last of your skills.
Oh, got it.
Nat 20. As
Oh.
you bite down, you immediately can hear like almost like a, you know how the walkie-talkies have those static when it's just like, "Shh, can you come in? Over." Shh."
Oh god, yeah.
So you hear a gentle, give me just a moment. I'm out here in the courtyard watching the most delightful of things. I wish you could have joined me. Kind of giving you a hint. Go ahead and roll sense motive.
Sensing of motives. I don't think she's very good at this. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's fair.
you get exactly what she means. Like even Sid's like, oh, I should just go ahead and join her there.
Okay. Wait, where is the courtyard from here anyways?
The courtyard is over this way, so you'll have to spend some time to get there.
Okay, so then I guess I'll make my first move and be right there, and that's my turn?
Yeah, because the adjacent room was a lot closer, honestly, so that's gonna end your turn there.
Okay.
Meanwhile, it is now Mort's turn.
So, I'm still hunting down. I had notes for this too. Unfortunately, my computer does not like that. I'm still hunting down Countess Abrielle Pace. I need to follow her around and find out some more stuff because I'm a creep.
And you know that she's in the gardens.
Yes, yes, I do. So I'll move to the gardens.
So go ahead and as you go in, go ahead and first roll a stealth check.
Stealth, one of my greatest skills.
Okay, so no one calls out to you or anything. You are actually, you're able to see her, but she's not able to see you. And you can tell because she seems to be busy chatting up with these people. So you can go actually, and you're able to move closer if you want. And go ahead and roll a perception check. So you hear her, you're having a little trouble hearing her, but you can hear her laughing and saying, "Oh, I don't believe in these sorts of things. I mean, let's face it, women, after all, shouldn't be running a country. We're too temperamental. I mean, what with our periods and everything. I mean, our time of month, constantly having to powder our noses. I mean, what else is a woman's place except to Be there for the men who run the world. Go ahead and roll sense motive.
Sense motive.
Sense motive.
Sense motive.
Her lies are so convincing that you're actually not sure what the truth is, whether or not she wants the vote to go through to reject primogenitura, or if she's just
Utopia.
or if she's just, you know, you can't tell if she's playing the game here or if she really truly believes this. And as the conversation continues on, you kind of get the sense that she still hasn't quite made her allegiances known. So it's unable you're unable to tell whether or not she's actually attempting to perform some sort of almost subterfuge here to get more people to vote for Princess Eutropia or not. So what will you do now?
Well, I'm still gonna feel like continue to listen in on her. It's the best thing.
Okay, so go ahead and roll another perception check.
Nice.
This time you overhear her very clearly as she pulls the Marquis de Champs aside. Again, I am absolutely mispronouncing that name. I say, I can't believe all of these men really think that I believe that the best idea is for a man to rule this world, to rule this country, as if that's gone so well the past couple of years. Oh, I know. It's terrible, isn't it? But what else can we do?
I like the implication that the society is 7 to 10 years old.
I mean, when's the last time we've had a queen? When's the last time we've had a female ruler in power? Well, I know it's been quite some time, but I mean, what else are we supposed to do here? Well, we have to do something, obviously. So are you going to vote for or against it? Obviously, I'm going to vote for us to reject that stupid, ridiculous law. I mean, it's almost an absolute blasphemy. I agree, but it's good to know that we're on the same page. I agree. Although, lying to all of these idiots has been so taxing. Can't stand it. Neither can I. But at least the booze is good. Yes, at least the booze is good. So, go ahead and roll one more sense motive.
Nice.
Yeah, no, she's actually being honest here. She's actually, yeah, you can tell. There's no more duplicity. She is a tired bitch right now.
And that is how Mort will phrase it. She is a tired bitch.
She literally can't even.
Well, then I pull out the badge one last time and just say,
What's that, Mort?
I pull out the badge once more, and oh god, sorry. Food is not sitting well for me. I contact Lady Lothlead.
She's actually, from your perception check earlier, you were able to tell that as you walked in, she's actually not too far from where you guys are.
Okay. Well But then I'll start making my way over to her, give her a report in person.
Okay, so it's not going to take you long because you guys are actually in the same area. So it's just a couple of steps. Go ahead and you're going to be rolling a escape artist check just to make sure that you're not like stumbling all over people.
Another great skill.
Okay, let me roll. Okay, so you managed to avoid stepping on a halfling who is just passing by and sees you and goes, "Oi, buddy, watch where the fuck you're going. I'm right here, you know."
I'm so
Jesus.
sorry. The alcohol is going to my head.
Fucking totally. All right, whatever, fine.
I apologize, sir. We...
Also, Razzle, you're on mute. Yeah, of course you did.
Weird bastard.
So he passes by, kind of grumbling, and you see he's got like 2 whole pints in his hand as he's walking away.
Well, he can really hold his alcohol.
Meanwhile, as you approach, Lady Lothlead comes up to you. "Hello, I hope you have good news for me."
From what I've understood, both feel like Eutropia is the best choice. I was able to follow Pace a little bit further, and she's sincere about voting against. Put it plainly, she's a tired bitch.
She looks at you, nods. "So glad to know at last where their true allegiances lie. This has been a long, long time coming. But with their continued support, this rule might finally be overturned. I thank you, Mort. But I fear that I may have more to ask of you."
Of course.
It's just that I feel as though your friend Darmeath may have been distracted from her own task, but I also have some other tasks. I will ask to meet with you all shortly, but very soon Eutropia will be giving a speech, and I'd like you to keep an eye out for her, if you wouldn't mind. I've heard whisper from somewhere that someone might plot something. It may be big, it may be as small as a prank of some kind, but we need to ensure that this goes off without a hitch.
Alright, I'll do what I can.
I am entrusting you, and I thank you for your kindness, and I will reward you with your pay.
If you happen to see my assistant around, and if there's nothing else you need from her, ask her to find me as well. I'd like her to be by my side. She has better eyes than I do sometimes.
Of course. I'll be sure to send her your way. But in the meantime, please enjoy the gardens. Eutropia will make her presence known very shortly here.
Okay, thank you. Gives a small bow and backs away.
Okay.
He's moonwalking away.
She moves.
As is the drow way to do it. Polite company.
Listen, just because he wears a zoot suit.
And he's got the sunglasses.
Shut up.
Okay. Just a moment here. Because now I have to set up.
Hey, Mort, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Mort?
Wouldn't it be Morty?
Yeah.
Morty, are you okay? Morty, Morty, are you okay? Morty, 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 you gotta be okay, Morty. You gotta be okay. Okay. So as we all know, Darmeeth and Lady Gloriana were going off to the archives for.
The makeout room.
Yeah.
No one was gonna say that, but we all thought it.
We all thought that.
So as they're making their way to the archives, they get there no problem, and they're kind of talking and whispering, and we'll get to that next time. But in the middle of the conversation, Darmeeth starts swaying, and she starts rocking on her heels, and the next thing you know, she's on the floor. She's not quite convulsing, but she seems to have fainted. No one knows what happened, but we'll find out what she sees next time. In the meantime, your rounds have now ended, and there will be a shift in the mood here.
Fight Club.
No one talks about it.
That's right. That's right. Everyone's gonna fight now.
Well, what do you think rich people do behind closed doors?
Orgies.
I was about to say fornicate.
We talked about this. Damn it!
Roman
dude,
Polanski
I think
stuff.
I already sent you the scene. Jesus, Dad, what is this? What did you bring me to here? That guy's not even wearing a mask.
Thank you, Dark Spade, for the follow. Thank you for becoming one of our turkeys.
Turkey.
So let me go ahead and get the music going. Yes. So there's this huge fanfare that goes on as it is presented that Princess Eutropia will be giving her speech here in just a moment. Let me go ahead. I just realized there was another character I hadn't gotten introduced to you guys just yet, but you guys will be introduced to him soon. Okay. So amid the fanfare that you hear, and let me know, is the music too loud or is it just the right amount? Okay. Let's see. Is the music better there? Guys?
I like your choice of music.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
I like your music.
Okay. So Eutropia comes out to the courtyard. There's a swelling of the crowd as everyone gathers. You see a lot of senators and well-wishers. Everyone is starting to move and converge towards the courtyard now, as a matter of fact. Everyone stops their chattering for a little bit. And the man who went with Papornia actually stops what they were doing to come out and visit as well. And you see a bunch of noblemen gathering as she appears. And I don't know if you guys had seen her before, so let me go ahead and... Where is my...
We have not.
I need to remedy that. Just a moment. I've got a sheet for you guys to see, so you guys can see what she looks like. Half a... I just realized I could make all of this so much easier for myself by just typing things in. Listen, okay, your husband is not a smart man. So here she is, for you guys to see. Her name, of course, is Princess Eutropia. And she is very eloquent and regal looking. And everyone seems to kind of stop and look in awe. She's got a very noble presence. And she tells everyone that she's gathering them around because she has a speech to make. My friends and colleagues, and my assorted enemies, it is wonderful to see you all in your finery beneath the stars tonight. With any luck, the weather will be the only thing that refuses to change this evening. We have all gathered here tonight to honor Master Calibro of Breezy Creek, a master artisan and a true patriot for his exquisite skill and service to our glorious empire. At this, she actually turns towards the crowd and presents next to her a simple-looking man who kind of smiles and waves. He clearly looks uncomfortable and out of his element. He looks like a total dork. He is a farmhand.
You look psyched.
He is very excited. He's also very nervous to be here. He again gives a weak little head nod and just, he was instructed to smile and wave, and it showed.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
And she continues, Master Calibro demonstrates so eloquently that a heart may be noble regardless of the stature of one's birth. And while it may be premature, I hope to be the first to congratulate you, sir, on the exaltation you will see tonight and welcome you into the ranks of Taldor's long-lived aristocracy. But we gather here to discuss matters of state as well. And just as the exaltation reminds us that the glorious empire must always look into the world to refresh the greatness of its leadership, we must always look out into the world around us to see how it has grown. The child nations our empire birthed, Andoran, Chelax, Lastwall, have all grown strong by examining the great traditions they inherited from our motherland and embracing those relevant to this new world and discarding those that held them back. So too will we, this night, examine one of Taldor's oldest traditions, primogeniture, with eyes wide open to determine whether it has held us back from the glory and stability our wayward states have found. Our obligation tonight is not about one person, nor about the vote in the Senate. It is about the nation we love and ensuring that the nation does not fall behind the times. We are the inheritors of mighty Alazant, and I say that we must work together to avoid sharing that old empire's fate. Together, Taldor will endure. There seems to be almost a hush that comes over the crowd as she finishes speaking. There's a general round of applause from people. And of course, there's some who are, kind of just giving that sarcastic clap. They seem uninterested. But Crow, go ahead and make me, Mort, make a perception check.
Yep. Perception. Oh!
Stop. No. Crap, give me a second. I pressed the wrong thing. Now I have to wait for my page to reload. I'm sorry, guys.
Blinded by the light. Wrapped up like a deuce, like a runner in the
I
night.
feel like we've consistently had very bad luck with perception checks across the board.
Yeah.
Everyone has bad days.
No, but I mean, like that role specifically, like I don't think any one of us has had like a good perception roll yet.
Yeah, actually, Steven did in the room when he noticed. He finally
Yeah,
noticed
he
the
did
one
have a
thing.
natural 20 with that, I think.
Yeah, the one person that isn't really a player character gets the best perception. Like, son of a bitch!
Not
In fairness, he's not good at very much. So it was just like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, you did such a good job this time.
not the detective.
Kind of like the rule of
not
average.
not the detective, not the magic demon cat, not the literal actual medium, and not like the prey rodent creature with whiskers and giant ears. It was the cloak man who hasn't showered in God knows how many days.
He showers. He just can't help that he's musky.
That's a word for it.
Brusky.
So Mort, you're not able to see this. You're too kind of enthralled with what's going on and what's being said. Would anyone else like to make a perception check?
All right, let's do
Yeah,
it.
sure.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
where is Steven the
Oh.
Air?
Look at that!
We
Yeah,
did
don't
it.
even give him
Got one.
that bullshit.
Hey,
Sitting
actually, Sid was tasked with protecting the princess, technically.
Thoticus is just again too enthralled and just like, wow, if a bumpkin can be, considered a nobleman at some point, maybe too a nuffkin. But Master, you and Sid both notice that there seems to be it seems to be that their serving staff is doing something odd off near the edge of the courtyard. And you see one approaching what appears to be 3 wooden boxes, which hold small beehives, which are usually used to pollinate the garden and its exotic plants and extracted honey. But you also see that the staff member is holding onto a strange alchemical colored bar.
Do we have to roll for bee allergy?
You might. It depends. Sid. So just so you guys know, it's gonna be off over to the opposite side over here.
Okay. So they're doing what exactly?
The
They're
bee?
holding an
Basically, it looks like the person is the staff is waving some sort of bar next to the bees. If you
That's
want,
the
you can make a
bees.
sense motive check.
yes. Which will probably fail.
Oh god.
Bees.
You're just like, that's really weird. That's a stupid way to feed bees, but okay. Definitely
Can-
weird though.
Okay, if I think it's weird, then at least.
Oh god, not even better.
Master's in agreement. That's a really bad way to feed bees.
Yeah, no, masters. That's a stupid way to feed bees.
If I think it's weird though, I'm gonna actually go over there.
Okay.
Probably
where?
get Mort.
As you go ahead and roll me, both of you, roll a knowledge nature.
Okay. Knowledge, nature. I know a little.
You know a little. You almost get the sense like whoever's waving this is trying to anger the bees, almost like they're trying to get to the honey or something. You're not sure what the hell they're trying to do, but you do notice the bees starting to get agitated.
How do you notice
can,
bees getting agitated?
They're starting to buzz really, really
They're-
loud.
Yeah, they're
Can
starting to
I-
actually leave the hive and start like buzzing around the staff member.
Can I tackle him and like grab the alchemical thing from him?
Really passionate about these bees.
Yeah, you can go ahead. Go ahead and roll a grapple check on him.
Okay.
So it's going to be your CMB.
CMB. Ha!
Oh my god.
You go to tackle him, but you trip and fall over the halfling who more earlier found carrying the pints. What the fuck is with you Tollies? I can't get enough ale and you just spill it everywhere. That should have stayed in my hole.
Can I roll a perception to see if I hear the commotion?
Yes, actually, go ahead. And Thoticus.
Yes!
You
Oh, boy.
see, you see, you both are, Thoticus, you know something's up. You can hear some shenanigans. But Mort obviously is just like, yep, the girl's tripped. I can hear it. I always hear when the girl trips. And you also, as you see her trip, you see where she was going and you see the bees. You go ahead and roll knowledge nature.
Knowledge nature.
Oh.
Not my best skill.
Good night.
It seems really odd. It seems really odd. You're really not sure what that guy is doing. But you see the bees appear to be like buzzing angrily, and they seem to be spreading out now.
I'm not dealing with this shit. Mort runs over to find out, because if Sid's tripped over
Mm-hmm.
and Sid, and going after this guy, then he still has to believe that she's doing it for a right reason.
Okay.
So he's gonna go
So-
over there too.
Go ahead and roll a go ahead and roll a welcome to the stream, Murph. A escape artist check. Let's see if you can navigate through the crowd.
Come on, give me something good.
Hey.
You are able to book it. You are gracefully dodging and dipping and diving. You even managed to fly right over the angry halfling who is still cursing out Sid for spilling his
Master,
2 pints. And you're able to get there in time. The staffer looks at you. So how do you want to approach the guy?
What you doing, son? Making a mess? Yeah, you're making a mess. I'm gonna tell you to stop. Right now.
Are you gonna try to intimidate him or?
Yep.
Oh.
Well, I rolled a 1, so I think you'll win.
No, just like the simple fact, just like he's channeling all the anger from the night, all the anger of being around such uptight assholes, and then seeing his assistant, who he asked very politely not to do something stupid. He's channeling all that anger into one scowl at this man, just like.
The man, the fishy looking man, just drops the bar and starts scooting away as quickly as possible.
Right.
So you can either roll a knowledge or a knowledge nature or a knowledge arcana on this item that he dropped.
Either, it's not going to be good at the same school.
At the same time this is going on, Sid's going to shove a cookie inside the halfling's mouth and, like, walk over to Mort. Like, literally, shut up, eat this. And then...
Like,
roll. First off, go ahead and roll a sleight of hand for that.
Alright, this one I think she's better at. Okay,
Nope.
not so much.
You go to shove the cookie into the halfling's mouth, and you find that it misses completely. And it's like you're shoving into the air. And he just looks at you. Oi, do you think I'm some kind of fucking dog? You're just trying to give me a biscuit, is that it?
Yeah, shut up. And she walks away to Mort.
Go ahead and roll a intimidation check.
Oh, I'm intimidating him. Oh, God. Go.
Let me roll for him. He is not having any of it. So as you walk away, he's still following you, cursing the entire time.
The most powerful character.
Sid throws the cookie into her own mouth, since he didn't want it. And then can she roll a nature check on that thing?
Yes, you can.
Oh, I almost... That was not the right button. Nope.
You guys are not sure what this thing is, but you guys are able to connect that the bees seem really, really incensed by it, and you guys are gonna have to give me a reflex save.
Okay,
What?
Ooh, I did
Oh,
get it.
Sid is just like, She is just dodging bee stings all over the place. Oh, yeah. Meanwhile, Mort, unfortunately, is not as nimble this time around. He is unfortunately going to take 2 points of damage as the bees do start stinging him.
That's okay. I'm too angry for bee stings.
Can I find if there's a way, like, to kind of close off the beehive, like seal, not like seal up the beehive with the bee, like, but like cover it. You know what I mean?
That would be another knowledge nature check to see if you're able to actually cover, if you know how to deal with this.
Wait, no. Oh, look, bees.
I pick up. I carefully pick up the rod and slip it into my jacket.
Okay. As you do so, you do notice that more bees seem to be drawn towards you, still very angrily. You're still getting stung, but at this point, it doesn't hurt anywhere near the first two. Many of them are just kind of bouncing off your clothing.
Can I intimidate the bees?
Pretty sure there's a language barrier there.
Unfortunately,
roll high enough, it doesn't matter.
Unfortunately, the swarm is not going to pay attention to you, but if you guys don't do something soon, it is going to spread, and it could disrupt the speech.
Okay. I'm
Can I
gonna
roll
roll.
escape artist to get to my friends?
I'm gonna.
Yes, you can actually. I forgot. Yes, Thoticus, you may.
I
I'm
do
gonna roll
have
knowledge
I
nature
have
to see
I
if
have
I
a
can-
plan. Thoticus is
I'm
gonna
gonna roll
save
knowledge
the
nature to
day.
see if I can cover the hive myself.
Thoticus, you're having harder time. Everyone's kind of pushing up against each other. It's too crowded for you to actually be able to get there. So it's almost like you're having to move through difficult terrain, so you're not going to be able to get there. However, Mort, you are able to figure out, if I throw this stick outside, they'll probably follow it, and I can close this beehive.
Right. I take the stick and I just like wave it in the air, and just like, you want it? You want it? You want the one? You want the stick? You want the stick? Get the stick! So is that just like, do I have to roll like a range thing for it?
Yes.
Thank God that I'm a ranged fighter.
Okay, so you throw that stick so far out the window, the bees go falling afterwards, that there's no more issue.
Fetch.
Can we just put this behind window too, just for safety's sake?
No. Look, that's... It's not the bees' fault that they got angry. We're not going to destroy their home because they got angry.
No, just carefully lift it and place it there.
How far out, like, is the window on ground level?
Yeah, the window's on ground level, but you toss it a good while away. So it comes out to maybe around here, clearing the area for you.
Okay. Carefully place it outside. Ow! Bee stings.
Sid hands more to Cookie.
Thanks. Now, care to tell me why you didn't just come get me in the first place?
Oh, you were nearby?
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't notice you. Plus, I don't know if you noticed, but he was angering the bees, and I was tasked with protecting the princess.
You're absolutely right. And how's your face feeling after falling flat onto it?
I didn't hit my face, but that little halfling is still following me and cussing me out.
He's literally right behind you. Are you fucking daft? I'm right here.
Still cussing her out.
And he looks at Mort. Oh, you, Tolly, is this your fucking cow?
Okay, this time can Sid roll intimidation and just be like, I'm not a cow, but I am a fucking demon.
Go ahead and roll it.
I'm not a cow. I'm a demon. You said it in the least intimidating way possible.
He looks at you and just says, you know what, Loss? I think I've had a little bit too much to drink. I think you're right. And he immediately turns around. And you hear him just like, don't fuck with demons. Don't fuck with demons. You know they're bad news. You remember the last time. Don't do it again.
Sid leans her head back and laughs maniacally.
You just hear someone say, shh, we're trying to listen.
Karate chop in the back of the head.
Oh, yeah, what's your AC, Jose?
Not
Sid?
that!
My AC is fuck that.
16.
Yeah, you hit.
Stop it.
So what, I take 6 points of damage?
No, you actually take 1d3.
Oh, 1d3. Okay, so
Let me roll that for you.
I could just do this. Oh, just kidding.
So half this damage. So yeah, one point of damage.
You take 1 point of damage.
Ow.
Stop that. All right.
Meow.
But at this point, as you're doing that, at this point, Thoticus is able to join the group now, having successfully navigated around and prevented himself from being trampled to death by Tallies.
Let's see. Oh, look, it's Thoticus. What up, man?
You guys done what we came here to do? I can't think of a John Mulaney way to say that.
almost. I have one message to deliver to, Lady... I have it written down somewhere. Starts with an M. I'm pretend like I just said her name.
Saying that in character.
I feel like she's like searching her body for a note. Like she has a notepad, but it's like her notes are not great. They're more like pictures.
No, imagine Mulan, how she like writes them on the inside of her arm, but it's all smudged.
Yep.
Martella, Lady Martella, and then I kind of have
Lady
to like,
Martini.
protect. I kind of have to protect the princess. So after that, we should be good to go. Why? Without?
I don't know. You didn't hear this from me, but there's been a commotion about and like Thoticus like leans in, a thief at the party. I might not have said that into the microphone. Oh no.
I'm just gonna like kind of.
And between you and me, but when the types of people that go to these types of parties start talking about thieves and stealing and criminals, and they need to find the type of people to blame, that type of people usually ends up being me, sister. So we got, might be we might need to start thinking about hightailing it out of here before Nufkin is put back on the menu.
If you need to get out of here, I suggest you do so. I'm gonna stick around and report back to Lothlead.
Sid, does Sid kind of realize what Thoticus is saying, like that he actually stole stuff?
Roll,
Well, wouldn't you guys know that? Because we all told our
you knew that was
names at
his
the same
mission, so
time.
yeah, you guys know that he, that of course he's stolen stuff.
I also did begin the conversation with, "Are you done doing what we came here to do?" Which implies he is done.
Okay.
Trust me, Mort is 100% done with everything. Mainly bees.
I hope he continues to trip over halflings throughout this campaign.
Oh my god, it's just like the same guy every time.
Alright, so I'm, be careful, Thoticus. Don't get hurt.
Oh no, I can't leave. I mean, there's a thief around, big speech, and then I leave. Yeah, that's just not gonna look good. I think it's best if I stay here in a group of people who are taller than I am.
I mean, that's a good idea, but wouldn't most of the noble people not even notice a Nufkin? Like, or kind of forget you were here in the first place, technically? So your best option might actually be to try and sneak out.
If you want me to leave the cave, just tell me.
No. Listen, lady. People notice a piece of trash in the middle of a nice marble floor.
Oh,
No,
that was good. That was a good line. Pretend I said that line.
I'm sorry, out of character.
No, like, out of character, I just kind of pictured, like, you walking with us and someone, like, another Karen going, "Oh, that rat!"
No, not even a different Karen. The same Karen.
The same.
That rat is ruining the evening. Calm down, Lady Trant. I will not be silenced.
Yeah, pretty much. No, but just, Sid kind of, like, looks at both Mort and Thoticus and is like, "Alright then, I have a message for Lady Lothley, so I'll be going. But, Mort, if you could, while I'm delivering the message, keep an eye out for the princess, because I was told to. I'll be back momentarily." And Sid makes her way back up to the courtyard, walking fast, faces past.
walking faster, walking way past where you were supposed to.
No, you told me over here.
Yeah, this is her.
Oh, she walks
Yeah.
back, faces past. Hello, Lady Loftly.
So as you guys do that, Princess Eutropia's speech has come to an end. She basically tells Calabo to stay and mingle with everyone so that they know who he is and everything. As she takes her leave, and she's gonna go ahead and disappear for a small short nap. Meanwhile, Lady Loftly looks at you. Ah, yes. Do you have a message for me?
Okay. Sid kind of like taps her chin and like looks at her like the writing on her arm, and then realizes, oh yeah, it's in the right sleeve, and then she like hands the message over to Lady Loftly.
Thank you. She looks a little confused.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm glad for that. Listen, I do have a I do
Yeah?
have one more thing for you to do.
Sure. What would that?
I need you to return a file that I borrowed and put it back in the archive. It should be fairly easy. Shouldn't take you but just a few moments. And now is probably the proper time to do it. If you can do that for me, I'd be greatly appreciative.
What is it you would have me do?
Simple. Go to the archives and put this in the right spot. And don't let anyone see it.
I'm gonna roll sense motive on that. Like, I really want to know kind of what she's up to. I'm a little suspicious.
Also, Murphy, you don't even know the half of it. I wish you'd been there to see Trashmort. So you're trying to do sense motive on Loftly?
Well,
do
Trashmort can always
the
come back.
Old episodes.
Yeah, you can always catch our old episodes on our YouTube channel. What was that?
Oh.
Was it Sid or was it Thoticus?
That did the sense motive?
Yeah, no. I see that you did the sense motive. So you were trying to do a sense motive on Lady Lothlead, right?
Yeah, because that whole, like, put this in the right place thing is just, and don't tell anyone about it, is a little suspicious to me.
From what you gather, she's not trying to hide anything from you. She's just wanting to make sure that the information that she's gathered doesn't fall into anyone's hands who might try to use it against her.
Okay. Sid kind of bows and says, very well. Where would you like me to place it?
In the archives.
In the goddamn archives. Listen for once in your life.
No, I mean, where in the archives? It's a big place.
In.
Anywhere.
Okay.
Thank you. Could I send Mort with you?
Sure.
I think that's a good idea as well. She kind of smiles and just like she's taken your hand and pats you on the hand and walks away.
Sid turns around and grumbles.
I'm a big girl now.
Well, I mean, Sid is over 100 years old, to be fair.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been bullying your character all night out of character. And I'm so sorry.
No, go for
You should
it.
start doing it in character too.
I
No,
mean,
it's
like,
just like,
Sid,
I'm over 100 years old. Yeah, and Mort's over 250. He's middle-aged and he's tired.
I'm 12.
well, to be fair, out of character, your character and mine still have to have the epic stare off after she, like, gouged my throat out.
Okay, so now that things are winding down, during it in the middle of the Senate, people are going back around and doing their own things again. One of the things, before she leaves, Lady Lothheed turns to you and says, "By the way, if you could gather everyone back in so that I may meet them in my office, just to see how things are going so far, I'd appreciate it."
Very well.
She bows and nods her head before walking away.
Also, where exactly does Darmeath, like, pass out at?
In the archives.
In the archive.
Oh god. Okay. In the arms of Oriana.
In the
So-
arms of the giant.
So as Lady Lothlead walks away, the man who was sitting in the presentation with Princess Eutropia comes up to you. "Oh, this stuff is real fancy, isn't it?"
Yeah, I mean, politics isn't the best thing for me, but you know the food's amazing. How about
"Oh,
you?
look at there. My dad always said something about, politicking. You can't spell politicking without pot licking. I never knew what it meant, but I think it had something to do with chamber pot."
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think so. Would you like a cookie? Kind of like.
I love a cookie. Well, I mean, there's tons
Would you
of-
like Would you like a cookie in this trying times?
Honestly, you're the first person to offer me food that I can easily say,
Obviously.
"Yes, please, I would love a cookie."
She kind of like hands him over a cookie.
He immediately scarfs it down with no decorum, just in front of God and everywhere. You hear him even snort a little.
Sid eats a cookie with him, so he's not lonely.
I was just wondering, and pardon my ignorance here. You got red skin, right? You got them horns in your tail.
Yeah.
Are you some kind of like arch fiend or something, like from them stories?
Oh, how flattering. And she kind of like crosses her arms together and says, I'm actually a
Wait! Don't tell me you're one of them succubi, right? The gals that just whisk men away and sex them up until they're all dry and nothing but bones.
She's a sandwich succubus.
No.
she kind of like she kind of does a hold on like let's see, I don't know what I'd use for that. Like she doesn't understand what he means, like dry to the bones.
She is an innocent child. So basically, you're not able to understand what he means by that, but he kind of brushes it off. Well, I mean to say is that, I don't quite feel normal around here. With all these fancy people, and I figured maybe you would also feel that way. Well, you having them horns and all. I saw the one guy with the horns, but he's real fancy lot. Not to say that you ain't fancy nothing, but it's just, it's how do you do it?
Well, I'm a tiefling, and well, here's the thing. Normally I'm not a very fancy person, But in this case, I feel like I just have to blend in. You know, like once you step through those doors of the gala, you can be whoever you want. So I do my best, and I pretend that I am, you know, someone entirely different, and it just kind of helps me get through the night, you know?
He looks at you. So, do you pretend to be like, I don't know, some kind of hero or something? Like that guy who runs around putting his mark on people? Crab Johnson?
Do I have to roll knowledge local for that?
It's a
Yeah.
Hellboy reference.
Lobster Johnson.
Oh, frick. Well, I don't know who that is.
He's in them penny. He's in them Hay Penny novels. You've
Would
never
it be a copper? No.
the copper novels.
I don't know.
Copper copies.
At this point, it's like pulp fiction that you've never heard of.
I mean, it sounds pretty cool, but I suppose I could fancy myself a hero.
You know, there actually is some kind of hero that goes around at night. Well, rumor is anyway. Some kind of they call him the Devil Man.
Oh my god.
Huh. Is he, has he been seen by anyone?
Not recently, but I know a guy named Bubba, right? Bubba went out once, heavily drinking, mind you, and he goes out to the city, and he swears he sees this guy jumping from rooftop to rooftop, and, you know, next thing he knows, he's being mugged, right, by this big fat bloke with a knife. Next thing he knows, guy's down like a sack of potatoes, and he doesn't get back up. And he swears to it that he saw the Devil Man.
Whoa.
That's like two references at least. And
God damn it, hon, why do you have to do that to me?
why do you have to be so obvious with them?
Well,
Why you gotta be so rude?
and like that, Master has died of a stroke.
Oh, no.
Not like a human stroke, as in, like the Muscle Man stroked Master too hard.
No, I just,
Fine.
even worse, I was thinking this, and then I realized how, bad it sounded, but she died of heavy petting.
Yeah, she did.
I meant that in the most innocent way, I swear to God.
Much affection!
Sid is very, intrigued
Filled with kindness.
with his stories, but
Love to death.
she also just really needs to get the stuff to the archives and protect the princess. So she kind of looks at him and goes, fascinating. Say, you're acquainted with a princess, yeah, and you don't feel very comfortable around the common crowd. So what say you come with me and my friend Mort to the archives real quick, and then we'll go back and see the princess.
I just got a picture in my head of Mort
That was
just
bad.
staring and just snorting and just looking angrily at the poor kid. Oh, there's a...
Yeah.
He
Oh
looks
my
at me
god,
just
she's
like,
proposing him for sex.
What?
because you rolled in that one. He's just like, oh no, I didn't want nothing like that. I wasn't looking to snog you or nothing. I mean, you being a devil woman and all. I was just trying to make conversation and feel. God, these things are always so awkward. I'm out of my element here.
Wait,
Are you
Snog.
saying that my girl isn't good enough?
No, sir, no. Your daughter. I mean, is it your daughter? I'm confused.
Look at the hat, buddy.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding with you, kid. Look, just take a deep breath.
I'm sorry, sir.
She's my assistant, and she's not really good with words.
Yep.
Look, I apologize. I should not mess with people like this, but it's just too easy. I think maybe you should find a nice quiet place, sit down, have a drink, and let everything that's gone on come to you slowly, because trust me, it takes a while.
That seems like the right thing to do. Yeah.
And
Also-
I'm Vodka.
he looks at you and just like, they let you in here? Oh, good, that's really great for you.
Thoughticus is. Oh, I guess that'd be check motive, right?
Yeah,
Maybe I
sense
just
motive.
know. Sense motive. And now I can't find sense motive again. There it is.
He is clearly hyperventilating. He is fearful of you.
Thoughticus's face falls as the realization that what he thought would be an opportunity for solidarity in this big old gallery, in this trying time, in this big old gallery of rich folk, has just shattered in front of him. He looks towards the audience a little bit in that kind of Bugs Bunny way.
Sid walks over and hugs Thoticus and looks over at the guy and says, "You're afraid of this cute creature?"
You're touching it.
I feel like
Of course I'm afraid. I mean, everyone knows that Nufkins carry all sorts of diseases and plague.
Sid, squints at him and licks Thoticus's head.
Oh, God.
Roll a fort save.
Wait, what? Do they really carry diseases?
Roll a fort save.
Oh, God.
So as soon as you do that, you realize that Thoticus doesn't often bathe, and he also sweats and has fur.
I don't think. Wait. Why would he sweat if he has fur? That's not how that works.
Well, dogs actually sweat. Like, animals do sweat.
No, they don't. That's a very human trait.
So you're talking to someone who worked at a vet clinic for 2 years.
But panting, I don't know. Do
No,
rats
they-
sweat?
Okay, so yeah, animals do somewhat perspire.
But, most of it comes through their mouth.
Yeah,
Most,
so the
but not
idea
all.
in this case is that
Rats do not sweat. I looked it up.
Ah, okay, cool.
They regulate their temperature by constricting or expanding blood vessels in their tails.
Yes, but you're also a fucking magical rat that talks and has a flesh pouch. I think you can sweat, man. So let's not overthink this. But yeah, no.
Alright.
He's kind of gross right now because he's been so nervous this entire time.
Sid kind of maintains her squint at the guy because she really wants to do this out of spite. Then she retracts her tongue and starts choking on a hairball.
Oh god, no,
It's
just
already
more,
started. I have to go. I have to.
more, just puts a hand on the guy's shoulder and just says, "Just walk away. You can do that. You're free to leave. I'm stuck with her."
He looks up at you. God's bless you. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Let me see here. I gotta.
He walks away and just he goes to where the fountain is and pukes all into it. Everyone is looking at him.
Great impression with the noble.
I was
Sid-
going to say that Thoticus's face was painted with the same expression that is usually upon Mort's face, but now he's just stiff and mortified, kind of like a dead animal.
It's okay, Thoticus. I won't tolerate anyone being rude to you. You're gonna be just fine.
Everyone seems to be looking disgustedly and kind of. You see a couple of noblemen covering their faces and just face palming at the vomiting man in the fountain.
Okay, so we're gonna quietly walk the fuck away. And if either of you start anything, I promise you, I will drop kick you over the goddamn palace.
What is that? A will save?
Yes.
I failed it though, so ignore it.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So it
You
goes
both
along.
listen to me.
Everyone's just like, yeah, no, sure thing, boss. You got it, boss. Yeah, whatever you say. Meanwhile, back with the master. Now that things are winding down, Maximalar looks at you and says, I would love to keep you, my dear. You are a wonderful kitten. But I must return you to your less deserving master.
Charming.
How?
So you see, just as, and I'm gonna make it larger just so it's easier for everyone else to see. But just as you approach, you see Stephen talking with the tiefling Sebastian. And then I said to him, Rectum, damn near happy.
Oh god.
And then you see Stephen just like, yeah, of course, I get that joke. Maximala, what are you doing over here? I'm
Steve,
returning.
it is time to hold me once more.
I believe that it is time for me to reclaim what is mine. Yes, I believe it is time for you to take your cat. Yes, that's what I just said. Now hand me my mask. I'm my cat. Please and thank you. So he just, you see him kind of long cat hand you over to Steve, who just like cradles you at first.
I just imagine like this really awkward, like almost offishness, like in the movies when they have to exchange a package.
Exactly. I just got best message. Jesus. So, damn it, best.
That's for me to know and for you to find out.
No kidding. Okay, but so right now, that awkward standoffishness, Maxilar gives Steve, no, he gives you, Master, a salute before turning away. Master, I now possess a wonderful dagger. I can easily kill this man for you. I will prove that I am the better loyal servant.
Soon, Steve, soon. But not around so many people.
You're right. Besides, you wouldn't want to get blood on your fur without you wanting it, correct?
Indeed.
See, I did good. I did good.
Besides, he's obviously a cultist of, well, there's a reason there's fishy people here.
Of course, they worship Kelpie. Wait, no, not Kelpie.
You almost have it.
They worship. Go ahead and roll a knowledge religion or planes
For Steve?
for Steve.
Okay, let's see what he's got. He's got religion.
It dawns on him immediately. Of course. Someone is worshipping Father Dagon.
Good boy.
That's why there are so many fish folk. I say, who are you talking to right now, boy? Oh, I don't know if you've met the master yet.
You're thinking out loud.
I'm thinking out loud. Of course, I just use my therapy animal for external communication with my brain parts.
You should ask him about the guy that was holding me previously.
So, what do you know about that guy who was holding master? I mean, my cat master. Roll a diplomacy check.
Oh boy. Diplomacy.
Not bad.
What are you trying to hide from me, Stephen? What are you really up to here?
I want to know if he's up to stealing my cat.
I just want to know if that man wants to take my cat. I let him borrow him for her for a little while, and I have been since very flustered. I can see that, Stephen, but that man over there is not one you want to be messing with. He is very loyal to the king and will do whatever the king commands.
Even
And I
if
do
it's a
mean
princess.
whatever. I could tell you some of the stories, and they might even make a cultist like you. I'm sorry. That's offensive. They might even make a sorcerer like you churn in their stomach. I'm. Wait a second. Can we go back for a second? Did you just call me a cultist? Did I? Or did you call yourself a cultist? They give each other that look like, I know what you said and I know what you meant, but I'm not going to give you the pleasure of knowing that I know that you know that I know.
That is confusing, but okay.
So they kind of give each other this knowing glance of like, they both are keeping secrets. Now, your cat there ain't just a regular cat, ain't it? Is he? Of course not. She's amazing. She is the best, most amazing being that has ever existed. If you could only hear her thoughts like I do. At that point, he's holding you, long cat, in front of him, staring you in the eyes.
I do that long, like, see into your soul cat stare that cats do.
Stephen, you're staring at your cat. You're not doing anything. I'm sorry. It's easy to get lost in the worlds of a cat's eye, you know?
God.
No, I don't. But I'll take your word for it. Perhaps you could help me. If you would. We need to keep an eye on the High Strategos. He's suspicious. Right, yes, he's the suspicious one.
He plans to kill the princess by using the staff.
He plans on killing the princess, I think. What? I believe he plans on using a staff of some kind.
No, the staff, the servants.
I mean, the staff, the servants, the people. What makes you think that? I trust my instincts. Go ahead and roll another diplomacy check.
Oh boy.
Not bad.
Oh man, he is good.
Now, see, the thing about that is, Stephen, you're not stable and you're talking to your cat, and it's very clear that you're talking to your cat. Which also tells me that your cat is talking back to you. So what does your cat know that I don't?
A really great recipe for banana bread.
These five fun facts about celebrities from your childhood that you just won't believe. Number 2 will have you rolling.
God damn.
I feel like that's just like a dream of ads just streaming through someone's mind.
That's what happens when you have a lance cat and you start to go crazy. You start to like pick up advertisements from other planes.
Oh god.
This
Like a
man
bad
lost
radio
50
signal.
pounds by losing 2 limbs, and now scientists everywhere hate him.
Mainly because he's a mad scientist.
Centipedes in my?
Yeah.
I'm not
Centipedes in my RPG.
I get that. I get that reference. So at this point, Master, how do you want to approach the situation? Because at this point, he's just gonna go ahead and just talk. You know, whatever you say, he's gonna relate to him.
Tell him you obviously know about the various cults. So I have to wonder if you know about the one that the what do we call him? The High Stragos?
Mm-hmm.
And who it is he truly worships. And why his loyalty to the king is so dependent on the king surviving.
Well, it's hard to be loyal to a dead man, for one.
I don't know anything about this. I don't know what his true allegiance lies. But I can say this. There is something off about everything. It, to coin a phrase, and no pun intended, does in fact smell very fishy to me.
Have you ever heard of the cult of Father Dagon and Mother Hydra?
I've heard whispers about it, usually from men who were babbling after their drink. What do you know of it?
Why do you think there's so many fishy men here, with bulbous eyes and vacant stares, who follow the command of the High Stragos?
I assumed they were imported from some southern sea and maybe perhaps captive slaves or something. So what are they really?
Those with tainted blood, who belong to such cults.
Tainted blood? So you're saying that these things are some kind of offspring?
Perhaps, but they're definitely not human. Not anymore.
So, if they're not human, is the High Strategos still human himself?
He at least appears so, or he wouldn't be able to act so well.
This is highly disturbing and deeply confusing. So, in other words, right in my wheelhouse, I guess. Shit, I kind of figured this wouldn't be such a quiet evening. It's a good thing you got that dagger. I'd say keep it with you at all times. You may need it before the night's out.
Is this dagger special than any other dagger?
Well, it's masterwork, it's silver. So if any vampires come out, you can easily dispatch them. But more importantly, it's probably just a good idea to have a weapon around here right now.
That's
I
actually
have a
pretty
strange feeling something's gonna go down tonight.
If there's one cult here, then it's more than likely that there's many more at play. The city's full of them, after all. And they seem to be more active than usual.
Which is more concerning. Why now? Why be so active and so open now?
Chaos breeds change, or change chaos. All the better to make one's goals more attainable.
I see what you're saying. So what you're saying is, with a change of Primanatra, which he mispronounces it completely, by the way. Not unlike the person saying it. So with the change, it's possible all the chaos is being rooted out and creating even more change. Does that mean we should stop this vote?
No, it seems that they want the person to stay because then that corruption stays within. At least some of them want it, it seems. Although it's a good chance that others want the change. So the question is, what opportunity can you take to make it suit you?
That is a very disturbing thought. But I think I have an idea. I unfortunately am being called elsewhere. I have business to attend to, but do your best to keep an eye out. I apologize I can't help you further.
Your help is appreciated.
Cool. And so long as you run with Mort, I will help you to the best of my abilities. But for now, I'll return before the end of the night, I'm sure.
One hopes.
He kind of walks away and, disappears into the crowd. What will you do next?
I guess we should talk to the boss lady.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and go back really quick since you've had that time. And let's see. We've been going for how long now? Do you guys wanna 2 hours? Do you guys want to do a bio break and continue, or do you think we should stop here?
I think a bio break would be good.
Yeah.
Okay. So give us 10 minutes, guys, and we will be right back. We're just going to take a quick break. The DM is going to get some more water because his throat is getting dry, and we'll be right back with more Shadow over Taldor. Okay.
Oh, hi, guys.
Welcome back. No expense was paid, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh,
to have you guys all here.
Oh, man.
So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and continue where we left off. So what's gonna happen next is now that the event has occurred, there will be 3 more rounds to the next event that will occur. And of course, we're going to start, since it is a new set of rounds, we're going to go ahead and re-roll initiative just to keep things a little fresh.
A little bit of shame.
Oh, I gotta rock. Alright.
Let's see if I can get better than a 9 this time.
I was on the other side of the house, you asshole.
Oh.
God, I always forget. How do I do this?
Mort did get better than a 9.
I did!
I have forgotten every single time we roll for initiative how to roll for initiative. There it is.
Okay, you figured it out. I'm proud of you.
Oh, did you already roll for Stephen?
No.
Okay.
This is the exact same order we had last time.
Hold on.
No, wait, no, it's not. I read
Then
it wrong.
I click Steve, and I click initiative.
Okay.
Oh, Steve
Cool.
is going slow this time.
Cool, I got some rounds to eat my sandwich.
Nice. Okay. So that's
Pick
everyone,
Matt.
right?
I'm rolling mine.
Master.
Yeah. And then I roll this.
Roll this.
Okay.
Okay, this actually works out really well. So now Sad.
Say it.
Uh,
Bad.
Say it.
and that's with water, folks. So Sid, you will be the first one going in this social round. What do you plan? I'm gonna change the music because the Teddy
I don't know.
Waltz is just.
Hey,
not
no,
doing
that's
it for
Sid's
me.
theme right there. No, I'm just kidding.
Just too
Um,
darn cheery.
Damn cute. So okay, what do you want to go ahead and do first, Sid?
Give me some epic music to start my turn. No, I'm just kidding. She's gonna go like finish her mission. She's gonna go to the archives.
Okay. So go ahead and roll an escape artist check just to make sure that you can duck and weave through everyone.
Oh, okay. Dun 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 dun. Oh, that sucks.
Let me make a roll. Drop my die. That's not good.
Please let the crowd crit fail.
You get very lucky. You were able to avoid very, very closely, very narrowly, bumping into one of the waiters and spilling their tray. You are able to maneuver your way around them just in time as they turn around, and you're able to get through to the next area with no problem.
Okay.
Now you see the archives right in front of you, and you see. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
All right. Where? There we go. Ha! I see nothing.
You do not, unfortunately. Like you're just like, wow, that's an awful lot of book. So, is there anything else you want to do this turn, or?
Well, I can't really do anything unless I can try for another perception check.
Unfortunately, not really. Not this turn.
Okay, then Sid is going to yeah, she's kind of had it rough, made some really stupid decisions, and she decides it's time to pull out the beef jerky, and she eats her beef jerky to get that Thoticus taste out of her mouth.
A wise decision indeed.
I feel like that's an oxymoron to eat beef jerky to get the Thoticus taste out.
Let's be honest.
I
there's
mean,
no way to get the dog.
come on, this is pre-FDA times. You don't know what's in that jerky.
All right, hold on then. Hold on, she's gonna do something here.
It is mostly rat hair.
I think it's Sid. Constitution. Where's Constitution, or is it Fort?
Give me just a second. That would be a fort save.
Okay.
Also, my internet just pooped out on me. Hang on, guys. Sorry.
Okay.
There we go.
Sid kind of takes some bites of the beef jerky, chews it around, kind of like smacks a little bit, like, and goes, "It still tastes like Thoticus."
You know what they say? Once you taste rat, you
You
don't
never
know where
go
you're
back. Oh.
at. Okay. So Sid is gonna do that. And with you chewing on that jerky, it somehow manages to move the flavor of Thoticus's fur around more in your mouth.
Whoa.
I was just getting like weirdly sensual.
Ew. Alright, she's gonna. She starts to cry.
you puke admittedly, like a little bit.
No.
Yeah. So we now turn to Thoticus. What will you do?
Oh man, I really don't know. Cloticus is still a little bit shaken up. You know, he's glad he's on the floor now and not being held. He's not a big fan of that.
Mhm.
I'm gonna do it's time for another Thoticus willpower roll. Oh boy, here we go.
Oh no.
Hey.
Oh, I passed. Okay. Alright, Thoticus is still a little bit frazzled. But he turns to Mort and he's like, so, how's your night been going?
Oh, just peachy.
I guess I should roll diplomacy now.
Why were you trying to convince me?
Oh, never mind. I misunderstood what diplomacy is. I was just gonna agree and be like, yeah. I mean,
I
I
like how
just
this
got
is
late.
just an awkward conversation between characters.
Well, Thoticus doesn't have anything else to do right now. He's done his mission. He's a little, I failed that willpower roll early, a few rounds ago, so he's still a little bit nervous about being picked out as being a Nufkin after a robbery took place.
Then you should probably leave for your own safety and so you don't get caught.
See, but then I'd be really bored for the next hour because Thoticus would be gone. You know what? I guess Thoticus. I guess it's a Thoticus round. I guess we're gonna roll for him also because I don't have anything for Thoticus to be doing. He's. And then I get.
So you're gonna go ahead and now you're gonna be doing your magic tricks, which they seem to go pretty well so far. You know, you're actually gathering a small crowd of people who are like, "Oh look, this little person thinks that they're doing magic. Oh, how cute!"
Thoticus kind of turns to Mort and searches his face for acceptance or appreciation. I can't think of the actual word I want to say right now.
Poopins.
It might just be acceptance. Should I roll a perception check for that?
That would be more of a sense motive.
Sense motive.
No.
Oh.
So let me go ahead and roll.
Thoticus is mildly disappointed but not surprised. This is an emotion he's very accustomed to.
Yeah, it's you actually do hear a small child from not too far off say, "Look, Mummy, look! It's an actual magician! Not like them evil wizards what burned down our house that one time."
Aww.
And you see the mother come up. "Yes, that's very nice, dear. Now go ahead and hand the poor homeless person a coin, will you?" He's wearing nice clothes. For a Nufkin, yes, but go ahead and give him the coin. He needs it more than we do. All right, Mum. And he just walks up to you. "My mum said you need this more than we do." And he just plops a coin into your hand and walks off, as kids do.
Well, then I guess I have +1 gold, and I guess that's my turn. I really don't have anything to be doing this round.
Not yet, but you will have some stuff to do more later. The other thing you could do is also gather information about the people around you.
Would that be another perception roll?
That would, but that's gonna have to wait till your next.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, don't worry about it.
So, Master, what will you do?
I instruct you to take us to the boss lady.
Okay. So Steve is going to lead you through here, um, through the gardens.
Mm-hmm.
As you do, go ahead and roll a perception check. I'm gonna make two rolls
For me or for Steve or both?
for you.
Okay. Let me bring up my sheet.
For whom? For you.
There it
Boom, boom,
is.
boom.
Whoa. I
Thank you,
see.
Jackie, for hosting the stream. By the way, I very much appreciate that, and thank you, Wolfie, too. Yeah. So you're able to see just past where Thoticus is doing some juggling. You see off to the side Waliskia, the Fantabulous, the halfling performer, is actually looking on, um, and it seems like she's watching intently to see what the Nufkin does. You also notice Mort not too far from the crowd, and you see where Lady Lothlead is, not too far off. She also appears to be watching with some interest at Thoticus's act. And you notice that most of the nobles here are pretty distracted by what he's doing, which could be advantageous for you guys.
Well, I wasn't planning on doing anything other than to the noble chick.
You see that she's not currently being held up or busy at the moment, so you might actually have some chance to talk to her.
Okay. Let's do it.
So you're gonna have to roll a on Steven's turn. You're gonna have to go ahead and roll the
Okay.
not sense motive, the escape artist. I'm sorry,
Why does Steve have to do escape artist?
because it's a crowded
To
area and
escape.
you have to navigate around it.
Because that's what life feels like when you have anxiety.
That too,
There.
true story.
Okay, so I guess it's my turn.
Okay,
Mm.
so we now turn over to Mort.
Mort's gonna walk off to the archive to find out where the hell his assistant's gone.
Okay, go ahead and roll a escape artist for yourself as well.
Nice.
You navigate through the crowd, no problem. Everyone seems to be surrounding Thoticus, really watching as this small Nufkin is pulling all kinds of strange and crazy, all kinds of crazy magic tricks. Like you are really in a flow right now, Thoticus. It's going really well. You're even
And
getting
you-
a few more coin for your effort. Mort, you're able to catch up with Sid. What do you want to do from here?
Um, just like, what are we doing here?
We're on our way to the archives. Yeah, so many books in there. Out of character, doesn't he have to roll a perception for things that may or may not be occurring?
Yes, actually.
Oh,
He sees all.
So you're kind of just at first nonchalantly looking into the archives, like, okay, I have to go back in here. When you notice Lady Gloriana cradling Darmeath, kind of scared. She is in tears, not really sure what to do.
Oh crap! All right, come on, Sid. We've got to go deal with this.
okay.
She's having another vision.
Oh, damn it. Do I follow Mort or
Please
You're
do.
gonna have to wait for your turn.
Follow when you can.
It
Oh,
is now.
God.
It is now Steven's turn.
Okay, so he's got to roll.
Escape artist.
Right.
He wants to break free.
Oh, nice.
That is good.
All right, so he is able to gracefully, and you can feel there's almost a sense of calm in him as he strides up to Lady Lothlead and bows before her. My lady, my master and I have returned from our mission, and I'm happy to say that it has been completed. She kind of looks around and notices that everyone is distracted, and she kind of beckons you over to a corner where it's hard to see and hear you guys. And she pulls out one of her mechanical crickets to ensure that no one can eavesdrop on you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, what have you learned? Master, what have we learned?
Well, we learned that, the. Fuck, what's his name again? His title?
I can tell I can tell you're getting tired. I thank you so much for soldiering through, hun.
Oh, yeah, I nearly passed out right before it was Steve's turn. Soldier guy is.
Max Demalar.
Yeah.
The high strategy goes.
Yes.
um,
He's serving Mother Hydra and Father Dagon. And these servants are people who have undergone transformation. He has instructed them to protect the king and prepare for something.
prepare for what, though?
Something I would take a good guess at, something that would probably harm the princess.
Something that could harm the princess. So you're saying that someone is actively plotting against her?
Oh, yes. There's a lot of higher powers at work here, going through many of our human and inhuman pawns.
This is deeply disturbing. Then I suppose that we have no other recourse. As soon as you are able, gather the others and have them meet with me in the office. We will discuss these matters and more. And you will get a new mission as well.
Is it safe to do so at this time?
Not right now, but give it a few minutes. Perhaps in another half hour. I want to meet with you before they start the vote, if at all possible.
What is your plan?
I plan. Well, I'm not sure. I'm doing the best I can, but I'm going to come up with something between now and the next time we meet. We may have to play things by ear. I doubt that we're going to know what will happen from here, but the best I can say is that we'll at least try and get things taken care of. But in the meantime, if you could gather the others and have them meet with me, I'd appreciate it.
Very well. I'll head in the direction of Mort, or whoever's closest.
Okay. So it's going to take you guys. In the meantime, the next person up is going to be Darmeath. And since Darmeath is not with us tonight, I think that's actually a really good place for us to stop. What do you guys
Yeah. I think it's a good ending point.
Okay.
Wouldn't Darmeath re-roll her initiative next time round?
Normally I would say yes, and I would agree to that. But this actually kind of works to our favor this way in terms of the storytelling. Um, so what we'll do is when she gets back, after she's had her turn, we'll have her re-roll her initiative.
Oh, good.
Okay. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us tonight for Shadow over Taldor. We hope you enjoyed it. It was really great having you guys. And if you've missed the previous episodes or if you want to catch up, we do have a link to our YouTube channel and you can catch up there. We have them in an archive. We will also be running this next week on Friday. We might stream in between then. We're still on the fence on that. But hey, keep up to date and be sure to hit the notification bell and like, favorite, share, subscribe, and all that, holy jazz.
And if you miss parts of this episode, don't worry. It'll be on YouTube. Soon. How soon, hun?
That will be up by tomorrow. Also, since we didn't actually introduce ourselves, I am Samuel, the Right Hand of Doom, and it has been wonderful to be your DM. We have also had Crow, who has been playing Mort.
Hello.
Sid was played by Jose Kage.
Heyo.
And of course, Master was played by the incomparable Arcane Razzle, my wife.
Meow.
And who could forget the star of the show, Thoticus Bitchlegs. Brought to you by none other than Thoticus Bitchlegs.
Remember to tip your waiters.
So thank you guys so much. We will see you in the next episode. Have a wonderful evening.
Bye.
Bye, guys.